Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. It's about Holly Robinson Peete and a hilarious misstep she made on Sesame Street when she was just a child. What seems trivial at first actually reveals so much about family legacies, performance pressure, self-image, and the way we remember our missteps more than our successes. Holly Robinson Peete grew up in a household intertwined with television history. Her father, Matt Robinson, was one of the original cast members of Sesame Street. He played Gordon, a warm, gentle presence on that legendary children's program. To Holly, that legacy was both a beacon and a kind of weight. The show, the characters, the very idea of being part of that world. These things loomed large. But as she would later share, the jump from observer to participant was not seamless. In an appearance on The Jennifer Hudson Show in October 2025, Holly told the story of what became her one and only line on Sesame Street. She was about 6 years old. She had waited for her turn. She had rehearsed, surely. She'd been told exactly what to say. The line was simple, "Hi, Gordon." But when the moment came, in front of cameras, performers, perhaps puppets and stage hands, nerves took over. Instead of greeting Gordon by name, she blurted out, "Hi, Daddy." The room fell silent. The audience let out a collective awe. She remembers thinking afterward, "I've been in therapy ever since." Pause and imagine that moment. A little girl trying to do her job, trying to get it right. And instead, calling out to the man whom she knew first and foremost as her father. It's funny, but more than that, it's human. It's honest. It captures the tension between who we are inside and who we have to be when the cameras roll. To Holly, it stayed with her all these years. On the surface, it's a flub, a goof, an on-set blooper. But underneath, it's a memory that carries deeper resonance. It reveals the vulnerability we carry whenever we step into a spotlight. It reminds us that performance is not just about flawless delivery. It's a confrontation with self, memory, expectation. But it also opens a window into Holly's journey. Because for her, Sesame Street was never just a show. It was family lore. It was an identity. Her father's presence on that set, his relationship with characters like Big Bird, Gordon, Grover, it was part of her childhood. So when she got an opportunity, however small, to appear, even for just one line, it must have felt both thrilling and heavy. The stakes in her mind could not have been lower, yet she felt them all. She joked on the talk show, there was definitely no nepotism involved. She said that every kid in her Philadelphia neighborhood seemed to get on Sesame Street, everyone but her, until finally she got that one line. Her misstep, then, was public, visible, lasting. But Holly embraces it as part of her narrative. She says that even though she flubbed it, she's been in therapy ever since with a playful tone. That line, simple, vulnerable, disarming, reveals how we carry youthful embarrassment into adulthood, how we shade it with humor, how a single misstep can feel outsized in memory. Let's step back again to consider the legacy she inherited. Matt Robinson, Holly's father, was more than a cast member. He was a pioneer. His role as Gordon was rare in its time, one of the earliest Black characters in children's television with dignity and warmth. Over his career, he also wrote for Sesame Street, Captain Kangaroo, The Jeffersons, The Waltons, Sanford and Son, and many others. He was a prolific writer, contributor, performer. Holly has spoken proudly about his work, his influence, and how much of an anchor he was for her and her siblings. When cameras followed Holly and her brother back to the Sesame Street studios in 2019 for the show's 50th anniversary on the Hallmark reality show Meet the Peetes, the moment was loaded. To walk the halls where her father worked, to meet puppets she'd grown up watching, to stand in settings she might have imagined as a child, all that carried emotion. She told the producers, "I feel overcome with emotion. I just wish my dad could be here to see all this." The legacy is real. The presence is felt, even in absence. So the fail becomes something richer, a bridge to identity, to heritage, to personal history. It's not about the error itself, but what it reveals. The misstep on Sesame Street becomes a metaphor. Because in life, we all stumble. We all say the wrong word at the wrong time. We all have moments when we want to reclaim innocence, but instead reveal something bracingly human. That moment, "Hi, Daddy," is funny because it's pure. It's the slip of intimacy in a context of performance. It resonates beyond the set. It's relatable. How many times have we, in social or professional settings, slipped and said something private? How many times have we upset the balance between who we are and who we pretend to be? Holly's moment is ours. Beyond that, the story helps us reframe how we view celebrity or public figures. We often think of them as having it together, perfect, poised, unaffected by nerves or missteps. But that's an illusion. Holly's candid sharing years later on a talk show peels back that illusion. She allows us to see, yes, I have an imposter's anxiety. Yes, I have memories that ache. Yes, I have jokes to heal old wounds. And in doing so, she gives us permission to laugh at ourselves, to forgive our missteps, to carry forward with grace. She doesn't hide the error. She tells it. She frames it not as shame but as a narrative pivot point. Here was youthful embarrassment. Here is wisdom gained. She's practiced telling it, yes, but the laughter remains genuine. It doesn't feel rehearsed. It feels lived. Consider also the way time works here. If she's been in therapy ever since, she speaks to the long tale of childhood. She doesn't pretend the moment was trivial. She doesn't minimize how much it affected her. And therein lies a lesson. We carry our past. We carry mistakes. We seldom get to edit them. But we can reinterpret them, reframe them, share them. We can own them. Revisited that shift of ownership in 2019, she wasn't just walking to a studio. She was walking memory. She was facing a stage where the small line "Hi, Gordon" once stood between performance perfection and personal falter. She stood in those spaces with respect for her father's legacy, for the show's impact, and for her own history. And here's the thing I want you to sit with. That misstep didn't define her career. It didn't prevent her from success. She went on to star in numerous TV shows, Hallmark movies, and reality series. She has used her platform to advocate, to uplift, to build. But she still remembers that little slip. She still owns it. And that memory, when told, becomes encouragement for others. You might have your own "Hi, Daddy" moment, something you wish you could redo. Something you said that sticks because it surprised you. You may feel shame, regret, or humor. But you can also tell the story. You can summon the courage to share it. You can frame it not as failure, but as testament to your humanity. You can use it to let others see you fully flawed and strong. Holly's narrative invites us into that. She doesn't hide the misstep, but she doesn't let it define her. Instead, she weaves it into her larger narrative of love, legacy, vulnerability. And she does so with humor. So when you think about that little girl stunned on Sesame Street, saying "Hi, Daddy" instead of "Hi, Gordon," imagine also the woman she became. Brave, open, reflective, generous. The failure was momentary, the growth enduring. I want to close by circling back. That moment was a tiny crack in a shining legacy. But in that crack we glimpse her soul, longing, tension, youth, love. She stood under the weight of legacy and still stumbled. She called out to her father. And in admitting that stumble so many years later, she tells us, it's okay to err. It's okay to blush. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to remember. Let that story settle in. Let it remind you, we live in performances, at work, at home, with family, with friends. But behind every performance is a heart that wants to speak. Sometimes it slips. Sometimes it says the wrong line. And sometimes all it takes is acknowledging it, telling it, and moving on. I hope Holly's Sesame Street fail gives you a gentle nudge to be kinder to your missteps, to see how odd, embarrassing, or raw moments shape who we become, to tell your own story in your own voice. And in that telling, you might find healing, connection, even a bit of grace. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.